Hey y'all, I'm JamesWright, and welcome to Wizards News. Today I want to look at fortress chambers. What is the best fortress chamber / runestone to get if I'm trying to grind for red books? How do I get my challenge XP? Let's dive in. Okay, I get this question probably 2 to 3 times a day, every day, of what chamber should I do if I'm trying to get more red books? And the answer is, I have no idea, because that really depends on your profession, what your profession level is, what runestone you're using. Do you have a sponsored fortress around or a regular fortress? And there have been several resources I've looked at in the past that kind of answer this question, but none of them really get down into where should you be depending upon your actual level in your profession. Now, there are several really good charts that will tell you if you go to this particular level with this particular runestone and with this many friends, you will get this XP out of it. But most of those don't take into consideration the possibility of XP from the fortress foundables, and you will get different amounts of XP from different fortress foundables, and different fortress foundables are found in different chambers. And so that is added into it, as well as every individual is a little bit different in how fast do they actually grind through them and what actually is your level. So are you going to be spending more time in Tower 4, in which case is it better to do Tower 1 or maybe Runes level 5? And you got to balance out the difference between time and your reward you're getting. Now, most of these are looking at runestone to the reward, but I want to actually look at what is the time to the reward, and that means we're going to need a lot of data. We're going to basically have to do one of these charts, which break everything down into the chamber by runestone and family, and then also do that for each profession, and then each profession and each rank. So if you are rank 10 professor, this chart is going to look very different than if you are a rank 14 Auror. And every one of these is going to have a different timestamp. So rather than just looking at what the challenge XP is, it's also going to be looking at what is the time involved in this. The other thing is that most of these charts are looking at the base rate for the challenge XP. So this is the base rate you'll be getting, and you always get the same base rate no matter what you do. If you're in that chamber and you're using that runestone, you will always get the exact same challenge XP. So if I'm in runes level 3 and I'm doing it solo with a level 3 runestone, I'm always going to be getting 51 challenge XP when I complete it. But it's not adding in the extra challenge XP you get from the foundables, and you're going to be getting different foundables. So there's always an average to each one. In this one, you're always going to be getting something more. You might get something around 80, depending upon what the foundable is you get with it. And each chamber then has a different list of foundables that you can possibly get in there. Some of the foundables give more challenge XP than other ones. And so I want to add that into the equation. And then on top of all of that, track your time. So we've got a lot of data to go into this. Now, the next closest thing I've seen to this is actually a simulator. You can come down through here and you can actually fill in what is your skill tree here. So I filled in my current skill tree and what I have, which is everything except for these last 3. I just need some more green books. So once you've filled out that skill tree, you can actually come down here and it will actually simulate all of the possible battles that you can have. So here you can have it actually simulate all the levels 1 through 20, runes level 1 through dark 5, and it will simulate it and give you a whole bunch of statistics to know, is this even possible? So I set it up here and it went through all of these. So if you look down here, it says I have a 100% chance of winning all the way down through here, through 14. So forest level 4, I have a 100% chance of winning. And then forest level 5, I have an 80% chance. And this is not using any potions. This is just straight up. You can put potions in there. And it'll actually go through all of these other numbers along the way. This will give you the average number of the XP you're actually going to get from it, and this does include the fortress foundables, so that's kind of nice in there. And then it will actually calculate it out to the amount of energy that you're going to be using. So what is how much actually challenge XP are you going to get per energy? So in this case, per energy, I'm going to be getting the most doing runes level 2. So if I'm really stingy on the amount of energy, I'm probably going to want to focus on that. And then it will come down here, and it will actually, if you put in the potions you're planning on using, it'll give you brew time. It'll give you the average time dead, so if you're doing darks and highs, and then it'll also do your average brew time. So if you're putting potions into it, how much time will you spend brewing to get those potions? And then over here, it's going to be giving some of the averages you're going to have. So number one, we have the runes per hour and the rewards per hour and energy per hour. So normally this is the one I'm looking at. I want to get the most challenge XP per hour. So we can come down here, and if I scroll down here, it's going to be saying this one here, which is runes level 5, is probably my best one, though hot on its heels is Tower 2, where I'm going to be getting a little bit more. And I found this calculator to be fairly close. So if you're just looking for your specific one and where you are right now, go ahead and use this calculator. It'll give you a lot of good ideas on here. But I want to take it a step farther and dive into real-world statistics. The one problem with that calculator is it doesn't take into the real-world capacity, and people just get a little distracted. Sometimes phones run a little bit slower and you're not running back and forth through it, in which case time is valuable. So resetting another challenge and doing more and more challenges often is a little bit slower because it's that reset time that can slow you down. So I want to actually get more information than what we can get by just mathematically simulating it, because sometimes writing things out on paper isn't always the best or most accurate way. So to get that information, I've created a form. Oh, everybody loves these things. So if you actually come in here, I have a link to this as well as everything else I'm talking about. So the simulator and several of the charts, I'll have links to those down in the description. But here it's been basically go through, and there's a lot of information in here we're collecting. But with all this information, we'll be able to get a much more accurate view of if you are at this level in this profession, use this runestone in this level, and it will give you these rewards. Number one, is it a sponsored fortress? What level of the fortress did you go to? What runestone did you use? What was the challenge XP that you received? This is the total challenge XP that you receive at the end. Next, what is the time you spent on this? I have it listed to the nearest 10-second increments, so round it up to the next 10-second increment. Just makes it a little bit easier. And then last up, we have energy that you used. How much energy did you put into this? Those are the main things that we're looking for. But then we want to come down here and know a little bit about you. What is your profession? What is your profession rank? How many potions did you use in the battle? This is a little bit variant because we're trying to figure out the optimal way without using any potions, because if you're going to be grinding for a while, you really don't want to be burning through a ton of potions. So most of the time we're just looking for responses with 0 potions, but if you are using potions occasionally, throw it in here so we can track that. And then, did you have any friends with you? Most of the time we're going to be looking for soloing, because the vast majority of players out there are playing solo. It is the lucky people who do have someone else to play with from time to time. And if you have a full group, that is awesome, but very rare. Most people are playing solo, and so most of the time we're just going to be looking at, do you have any friends? No, I have no friends. And what that will grant us is a massive spreadsheet here, and we'll be able to actually collect all this data and put it all together. So I'm expecting somewhere around 50 to 60,000 data points to actually collate into this. A huge amount of information, but this will allow us to very accurately see on average, if you are a professor and you're rank 14, then you should be doing this chamber with this runestone. And again, when I create a spreadsheet, I asked Hiti to come in here, and he's creating these analytics pages. So this will be an amazing way we can actually come down here and see once all these are filled out. So right now, these are the ones that I've done. So we are looking at professor rank 14. So this is the professor section, rank 14 here. And then these are even color coded, that I know that if I'm doing this, I should be doing runes level 4. That will give me the highest amount of challenge XP per time. But if I'm looking for challenge XP per energy, then I'm probably want to do runes level 4, maybe runes level 2. And so you can see how this is kind of close to that simulator, but it's a little bit more accurate in giving some real world numbers that are popping out in here. So the more information we'll get, we'll be filling out every one of these cells. So you can come down here and say, if you're a professor rank 8, you can come across here and see what is filling out for you. And we'll be doing the same thing for Magizoologist and Aura. So the more information we can get in this, the more we can actually fill out on this chart and know exactly what all the real life numbers are. Now there are two different ways you can fill this out. Number one, you could have that data sheet beside you, and you can fill it out as you go. Or number two, I have a link to a blank spreadsheet down below, so you can actually print that out and take it with you, and then just fill it out, pen and paper, and enter it in here. And what you can do is you can just send me that spreadsheet, and I can copy and paste it into the current spreadsheet, so you don't have to fill out the form for every time you do a battle. Just send me the spreadsheet, and I can copy and paste it and throw it in there. So for some people that'll be a lot easier, and for some people it's just filling out the form. The more of these challenges we can record, the better. I really want to see several thousand of them in there. So if you can put in 10, 20 challenges, that would be incredibly valuable. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what the real world numbers are. What is the best place for you to grind depending upon your challenge level? I'm hoping we get enough responses for this that sometime next week I'll be actually putting out a video talking through all of the responses and what is out there. This is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how much of this we can fill out. And it'll be an incredible amount of data, and I think it'll be very useful, not just for this, but to then throw that into some of the other data sheets that we can get a little bit more detailed on what all we're actually getting in these challenges. And on top of that, keep in mind that the Brilliant event is ending tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time, so if you need anything else left, make sure you get that in now. Everything will be switching over, so the Fortress Foundables, you won't be able to get those next week. You'll have to get them now. Make sure that you've gotten your program folder from the Fortress Foundables. And also Portkeys will be switching over, so make sure you're running those out. You will be able to get them in the future, but for right now, make sure you're getting them in so that you have them for next time. I'm really looking forward to seeing this data, and I hope you are as well. I want to say a huge thank you to all the patrons on Patreon. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal. It's been kind of fun talking with you. I'm hoping I have a special little video I'm going to be putting together. I'm hoping to have that sent out to you tomorrow. So thanks for supporting the channel, and I'm looking forward to having some fun in the future. I think that'll do it for today. Until next time, have a magical day. It's time to open up the next Popheads calendar, and we are on the 9th of December. So let's see, what do we get in here? Today it's a Weasley. It's either Fred or George. I don't know. Oh, wait, here it is. That was what I got yesterday, and I thought it was Grumpy Ron, but this is today, so apparently they are Fred and George. Haha, I like that. Fred and George. Yes.